Cars have been an important part of American life since they gained popularity in the early 1900s. While vehicles from that era are typically only seen in museums, there's one group who restores these antiques and drives them on modern roads. 630's Blane Erwin takes us along for a ride.
This is a Ford Model A, successor to the famous Model T. Between 1927 and 1931, Ford built over 4 million of these cars. Today, they're antiques, but the Naper A's are a local car club doing everything they can to keep these motorized pieces of history on the road.
There's lots of people that have older vehicles. Some people like to, like it's a museum piece. You know, you can't touch it, you can't get in it, they don't drive it very much. I think most people with Model A's are out driving their cars.
While the members of the Naper A's love to drive, there's work involved with keeping an almost 90-year-old car on the road. But wrenching on the cars is part of the experience, and something many owners enjoy being able to do.
I've always been mechanically inclined. I grew up on a farm. We worked on things all the time. I always was taking things apart and putting them together.
Bill Johnson has owned his Model A since 1974 and is currently doing a full restoration of the car. With all the mechanical bits in order, he's been doing body work, patching rust spots, and getting the car ready for paint.
The next thing I'm doing right now is to install the top. These cars had a wood framework on the inside, and so the metal only extends up to here. Wood framework, and then you have chicken wire and padding, and the final layer is this vinyl covering.
While Bill has his car apart in the garage, Naper A's Secretary Nick Mazarella is taking a slightly different route with his 1931 Ford.
But I keep it driving. I do an on-wheels restoration. There's pros and cons about that because you could never really do absolute pristine down to the frame and all of that because you got the car on wheels.
His car might not be in showroom quality yet, but he still draws a lot of positive attention while on the road, just like the sight of any car from the early 1900s might.
Very obvious responses, like, whoa, look at that. You know, a lady walking with her kids, and I'll usually blow the auga horn just to, you know, get a rise out of them. I've had people, you know, give me thumbs up and say, wow, I love your car.
I have never had a problem driving with modern drivers. I have driven at rush hour times. I've driven when there's lots of traffic. People are very courteous to me because I can't go as fast as they do. I can't accelerate as fast as they do. They're just very nice, just very, very friendly.
And the Naper A's try to hit the streets whenever they can, holding weekly lunch meetings and an annual picnic. They participate in all sorts of local events, like the annual Downtown Naperville Classic Car Show and the Memorial Day Parade.
We all meet downtown before, and we drive the World War II veterans in our cars. And they put their name on the side of the car, and while you're waiting, they assign you different veterans, so you get to talk to these guys.
Owning a classic car like the Model A isn't just about working on it or driving it. The cars provide a focal point for a community and bring people together to celebrate a shared passion.
The car, like I said, was inherited from my wife's father, who he inherited it from his grandfather. And now my daughter and my son are driving it at times. So there's 4 generations of family that have been using this car.
It's a very welcoming atmosphere. Going to the meetings, people are constantly trying to help each other. If there's a problem or suggestions on how you might want to do something, they'll be helpful. Going to car shows, people are always curious as to, you know, exactly what is it, how much of the work you did yourself. Everybody's extremely friendly and very, very helpful. It's a nice group of people to be involved with.
For Naperville 630, I'm Blane Erwin.